The ocean is vast, wild, and unforgiving. Ships, no matter how big or strong, can face sudden disaster like crashing, sinking, or splitting apart. This video shows 20 real ship incidents caught on camera, from small collisions to massive tragedies that shock the world. If you fear the sea, this might be tough to watch. These clips capture the raw power of the ocean and human error at its worst. From a cruise ship smashing a dock to a cargo ship breaking in half, each moment is gripping, so get ready for 20 sinking ships caught on camera, as number 1 will leave you speechless. Number 20, MSC Armonia. In April 2018, the MSC Armonia, a 902-foot cruise ship, faced trouble docking at Roatan, Honduras. Carrying up to 2,679 passengers and 721 crew, the ship was on a Caribbean cruise when it misjudged its approach. Instead of sliding smoothly into the port, it crashed into the concrete pier, damaging a 20-foot section. The impact barely shook the 65,542-ton vessel, and no one was hurt. Passengers still enjoyed their day ashore exploring Roatan's beaches. The ship's hull had minor scratches fixed overnight, and it sailed to Belize the next day. Video footage shows onlookers gasping as the massive liner crunched the dock, a rare sight at this small port. Honduras reported no environmental harm, but the incident sparked local debate about large cruise ships. Now let's move to a chaotic crash where a whale-watching boat couldn't stop in time. Number 19, Adventure Hornblower. On March 31, 2016, the Adventure Hornblower, a 150-foot whale-watching boat, crashed into San Diego's Embarcadero Pier. Part of Hornblower Cruises' fleet, it carried 139 passengers and 5 crew, far below its 550-person capacity. A throttle malfunction locked the vessel in forward, making it unstoppable. Video shows the ship blaring its horn 5 times, warning bystanders who scrambled away. One elderly woman with a cane was pulled to safety just in time. The crash damaged the bow and a 30-foot section of the brick walkway. 7 passengers had minor injuries, 3 needing hospital care for neck and back pain. The U.S. Coast Guard launched an investigation, blaming poor maintenance. Next, we head to a busy Indian port, where a massive container ship's mistake caused chaos. Number 18, CMA-CGM Hugo hits Jetty. The CMA-CGM Mumbai, a 1,099-foot container ship, hit a jetty at Jawaharlal Nehru Port near Mumbai on October 13, 2018. This Hong Kong-flagged vessel, built in 2018 with a 10,100 TEU capacity, was fresh from Karachi when a steering fault caused it to lose control. Footage shows the ship's bow crunching a 50-foot section of the Bharat Mumbai Container Terminal jetty, despite a last-second anchor drop. The damage was minor, with small dents to the ship's hull and no injuries among the 25 crew. The port stayed operational, but an inquiry was launched. Local police noted the jetty's $1.2 million repair cost. No cargo was lost, and the ship resumed its Asia-Europe route. Next, we'll sail to Alabama, where a cruise ship's fight with fierce winds led to a surprising drift. Number 17, Carnival Triumph. The Carnival Triumph, a 893-foot cruise ship, faced chaos on April 3, 2013, while docked for repairs in Mobile, Alabama. With a capacity for 2,758 passengers and 1,100 crew, it had already suffered a notorious engine fire in February, stranding 4,200 people for 5 days in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, gale force winds of 45 miles per hour snapped its moorings, sending the 101,509-ton vessel drifting. Video captures it scraping a U.S. Army Corps vessel, Dredge Wheeler, leaving a 20-foot gash in its stern. Tragically, a 65-foot dock section collapsed, killing one worker. Another was rescued. The ship halted repairs, delaying its return until June. Next, we'll cross to Hong Kong, where a container ship's desperate anchor drop couldn't stop a shocking grounding. Number 16. Hansa Constitution runs aground in Hong Kong. On April 6, 2014, the Hansa Constitution, a 633-foot German container ship, ran aground in Hong Kong's busy East Lama Channel. With a capacity of 2,810 TEU and a crew of 22, it was sailing from Yokohama, Japan to Shenzhen, China, when engine failure struck. Monsoon winds, gusting up to 30 knots, pushed the 35,000 deadweight ton vessel toward Pak Fu Lam's Stanley Ho Sports Center. Video shows the crew dropping the starboard anchor, slowing the ship just feet from a seawall near a jogging path. No injuries or oil spills occurred, and tugs refloated the ship within hours. The incident, captured by residents, sparked local safety concerns. Now let's shift to a Chinese river where a brand new cruise ship's first trip ended with a shocking bridge collision. Number 15. Pearl Number 7 hits bridge. On May 23, 2012, the Pearl Number 7, a brand new luxury cruise ship, collided with the Wenzhou Bridge in Zhejiang, China. This 518-foot, 7-story vessel, designed to carry 1,000 passengers, was being towed by 4 tugboats on the Ujiang River for its debut. The 8,600-ton ship, costing $44 million, sat high in the water without cargo or passengers, misjudging the bridge's 33-meter clearance. Video shows the ship's 2 chimneys snapping off, leaving a visible scar on the bridge. No one was hurt, and traffic continued uninterrupted. The local Maritime Bureau blamed a height miscalculation, launching an investigation. The ship returned to the shipyard for repairs, but opened on schedule by October. Next, we'll dive into a mysterious collision in the Indian Ocean, where low visibility sparked a costly disaster. Number 14. Bulk carrier and tanker collision. On May 20th, 2015, a bulk carrier and an oil tanker collided off India's west coast near Mumbai. The Liberian-flagged bulk carrier, a 738-foot vessel carrying 60,000 tons of iron ore, was heading to a Gujarat port. The Singapore-flagged tanker, 600 feet long with 30,000 tons of crude oil, was anchored at the time. Dense fog cut visibility to under 100 meters, and the bulk carrier, moving at 10 knots, didn't see the tanker on radar. The collision tore a 15-foot gash in the tanker's hull above the waterline, but no oil spilled. Both ships' crews, totaling 52, were unharmed. The Indian Coast Guard investigated, citing navigational errors. Next, we'll head to a Mexican port, where 2 cruise ships turned a festive docking into a shocking crash. Number 13. Carnival Glory. On December 20th, 2019, the Carnival Glory, a 960-foot Conquest-class cruise ship, collided with the docked Carnival Legend in Cozumel, Mexico. With a capacity of 2,980 passengers and 1,150 crew, the 110,239-ton vessel was maneuvering into Puerto Maya Pier when winds of 35 knots and choppy seas pushed it off course. Video footage captures the Glory's stern smashing into the Legend's bow, shattering windows in the Platinum dining room and bending railings. 6 passengers suffered minor injuries, mainly bruises, during evacuation from decks 3 and 4. Carnival reported no structural damage, and both ships continued their 7-night Caribbean itineraries. Temporary repairs in New Orleans cost $2 million. Next, we'll explore a puzzling crash in a Canadian canal where two freighters somehow missed each other's signals. Number 12. Atlantis and Florence Spirit. The Welland Canal, a 26-mile lifeline between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, saw a rare disaster on July 11, 2020. The Atlantis, a 452-foot Antigua-flagged bulk carrier with 16 crew, carried wind turbine parts to Duluth, Minnesota. The Florence Spirit, a 446-foot Canadian vessel with 14 crew, hauled coal to Quebec City. At 3:55 p.m., near Port Robinson, the ships collided starboard to starboard, damaging the Atlantis' bow and Florence Spirit's hull. Video shows the Florence Spirit veering left at 9.9 knots, driven by hydrodynamic forces and bank proximity, worsened by distracted messaging between captains. No injuries or spills occurred, but repairs cost millions. Next, we'll visit Venice, where a cruise ship's engine failure turned a peaceful dock into a scene of panic. Number 11. MSC Opera. On June 2, 2019, the MSC Opera, a 902-foot cruise ship, lost control in Venice, Italy. This 65,542-ton vessel, carrying 2,671 passengers and 728 crew, was navigating the Giudecca Canal towards San Basilio Terminal when its engines failed. Traveling at 5 knots, it slammed into the San Giorgio dock and a 115-foot riverboat, the River Countess, with 130 tourists aboard. Video captures people fleeing as the Opera's bow crushed the smaller boat, injuring 5 passengers with cuts and bruises. The dock's 30-foot concrete edge cracked. No oil spilled, but the crash fueled Venice's campaign to ban large cruise ships, citing pollution and safety risks. The captain faced a $22,000 fine. Next, we'll head to South Korea, where a drunken captain's reckless turn caused a jaw-dropping bridge collision. If you're hooked by these shocking ship disasters, hit the like button and drop a comment with your thoughts. Your support keeps us sailing. Let's hear what stunned you most. Number 10. Sea Grand. The Sea Grand, a 370-foot Russian cargo ship, caused havoc in Busan, South Korea, on February 28, 2019. Loaded with 1,415 tons of steel coils for Vladivostok, the 5,998-ton vessel veered off course after unloading iron pipes. Its captain, with a blood alcohol level of 0.086%, nearly triple the legal limit of 0.03%, steered toward the Gwangan Bridge, a 24,000-foot double-deck structure. Video shows the ship gouging a 16-foot hole in the bridge's lower level at 4:20 p.m., halting traffic. No injuries occurred, but the captain tried to flee only to be caught by 4 patrol boats. Earlier, the ship hit a moored yacht. Next, we'll witness a Taiwanese port, where a container ship's misstep triggered a spectacular crane collapse. Number 9. OOCL Durban smashes into giant dock cranes. At 11:30 a.m. on June 3, 2021, the OOCL Durban, a 1,037-foot container ship, triggered chaos at Taiwan's Kaohsiung port. This 86,679-ton vessel, with an 8,540 20-foot equivalent unit capacity, was empty, heading to Pier 66 from Shenzhen, China. Misjudging its turn, it sideswiped the 2,940 TEU YM Constancy at Pier 70, then struck a gantry crane. Video shows the crane collapsing onto another, crushing 30 to 50 containers. A 58-year-old worker, Chang, suffered an arm laceration. 2 engineers, trapped for 75 minutes, were rescued unharmed. The cranes, worth $21.6 million, caused major port delays. An investigation pointed to navigational error. Next, we'll head to Barcelona, where a ferry's crash sparked a massive fire that stunned onlookers. Number 8. Excellent crashes into crane at port causing huge fire. On October 31st, 2018, the Excellent, a 656-foot Italian ro-ro ferry, sparked disaster at Barcelona's South Dock. Operated by Grandi Navi Veloci, the ship carried 414 passengers and 760 vehicles from Genoa to Tangier. Strong winds of 25 knots and rough seas disrupted docking at 8 a.m., pushing the 25,000-ton vessel into a gantry crane. Video shows the crane collapsing onto 4 containers, 2 holding flammable chemicals, igniting a massive fire. Black smoke billowed across the city, visible for miles. 60 firefighters and 4 tugboats responded, extinguishing the blaze by 11 a.m. No injuries occurred, though 2 passengers needed treatment for panic attacks. An emergency chemical alert was briefly activated. Next, we'll travel to Istanbul, where a bulk carrier's unexpected detour demolished a historic landmark. Number 7. Vita Spirit. The Vita Spirit, a 738-foot Maltese bulk carrier, wreaked havoc in Istanbul's Bosphorus Strait on April 7, 2018. This 74,269 deadweight-ton ship, built in 2018-2001 with a 22-person crew, was sailing from Russia to Saudi Arabia when its rudder jammed at 4 p.m. Video shows the vessel plowing into the Hekimbaşı Salih Efendi mansion, an 18th-century Ottoman landmark used for weddings. The crash demolished the mansion's upper floors and roof, costing $34.3 million in damages. No one was injured, and no pollution occurred. Tugs towed the ship to the Marmara Sea for investigation, briefly closing the strait. The owners faced a $50 million lien. Next, we'll uncover a strange ferry crash that left a house in ruins and viewers stunned. Number 6. Ferryboat smashes into house. On August 10, 2023, a 27-foot fishing boat crashed into a summer home on Westfire Island, New York, in a shocking incident. The vessel, carrying 2 men and 2 dogs, left Bayshore at 4 a.m. for a fishing trip. At 6:30 a.m., it inexplicably went airborne, soaring 30 feet over a stone barrier and smashing into an unoccupied home's deck. Video shows the boat flipped upside down, killing 1 passenger, 47-year-old Christopher Canella, instantly. The survivor, unconscious for 2 hours, called 911. Rescuers waded through shallow water to save him and the dogs. The $500,000 home was heavily damaged. Next, we'll cross to Brazil, where a massive ship's grounding led to a deliberate sinking that stunned the maritime world. Number 5. Stellar Banner. On February 24, 2020, the Stellar Banner, a 1,115-foot, very large ore carrier, ran aground off Maranhão, Brazil. Loaded with 294,871 tons of iron ore for China, the Marshall Islands registered ship, built in 2016, suffered a 25-meter bow breach after its captain deviated near a 20-meter shoal. Video shows the 360 deadweight tons vessel listing 25 degrees starboard. All 20 crew were evacuated safely. Salvors removed 145,000 tons of iron ore and 3,900 cubic meters of fuel by April 12th, preventing a spill. Refloated on June 3rd, it was scuttled in 2,700 meters of water on June 12th, the largest ship ever sunk intentionally. Next, we'll head to the Mediterranean, where a distracted crew caused a collision that threatened marine life. Number 4. Ulissi and CSL Virginia. At dawn on October 7, 2018, The Ulissi, a 531-foot Tunisian ro-ro ferry, rammed the anchored CSL Virginia, a 984-foot Cypriot container ship 17 miles north of Corsica. The Ulissi, traveling at 19 knots from Genoa to Tunis, pierced the Virginia's starboard side, spilling 528 tons of bunker fuel. Video shows the ferry's bow lodged deep in the container ship's hull, creating a 15-mile oil slick. No injuries occurred among the 45 crew on Ulissi, or 26 on Virginia, but French and Italian teams battled for weeks to clean beaches near Saint-Tropez. 5 days later, tugs separated the ships. A 2019 report blamed distracted officers using mobile phones. Next, we'll explore a Caribbean cruise turned deadly by a single careless act. And number 3, Star Princess Fire 2006. On March the 23rd, 2006, the Star Princess, a 951-foot luxury cruise ship, turned into a nightmare off Jamaica's coast. Carrying 2,690 passengers and 1,123 crew, the $430 million vessel was on a 10-day Caribbean cruise from Fort Lauderdale. At 3:14 a.m., a discarded cigarette on deck 10 sparked a fire that raged for 2 hours, destroying 85 cabins. Video shows flames leaping 30 feet, melting metal railings. Passenger Richard Liffage, 75, died of smoke inhalation. 13 others suffered respiratory injuries. Crew evacuated 1,500 to muster stations, and the ship limped to Montego Bay by 8 a.m. The blaze caused $10 million in damages. Next, we'll head to Turkey's stormy shores, where a cargo ship's brutal end left crew members fighting for survival. Number 2, MV Arvin. On January 17, 2021, the MV Arvin, a 377-foot bulk carrier, met a tragic fate off Turkey's Black Sea coast. Built in 1975 with a 3,400-ton capacity, the Barbados-flagged ship carried 12 crew and 2,500 tons of urea from Georgia to Romania. Anchored 200 meters off Barton, it faced a storm with 30-foot waves and 50-knot winds. Video captures the horrifying moment the hull snapped in two at 11:20 a.m., sinking in minutes. 6 crew escaped in life rafts. 5 drowned, including the Ukrainian captain. Turkish rescuers saved the survivors amid 10-meter swells. The wreck, at 80 meters deep, was later studied for structural fatigue. Next, we'll uncover the deadliest cruise ship disaster since the Titanic, a catastrophe that shocked the world. Number 1, Costa Concordia. On January 13, 2012, the Costa Concordia, a 951-foot Italian cruise ship, struck a disaster off Giglio Island, Italy, carrying 3,206 passengers and 1,023 crew. The $570 million vessel, launched in 2006, was on a 7-day Mediterranean cruise. At 9:45 p.m., Captain Francesco Schettino deviated for a sail-by salute, hitting a reef at 15 knots. The 70-meter gash flooded 5 compartments, capsizing the ship. Video shows panicked passengers scrambling for lifeboats as the ship tilted 70 degrees. 32 people died, including a 5-year-old girl. 4,200 were evacuated over 6 hours. Schettino, who abandoned ship early, got 16 years in prison. The $2 billion salvage, completed in 2014, was Europe's costliest. This tragedy, rivaling the Titanic, stunned the world with its human error and loss. We've reached the end of this wild ride. Like the video, hit like, subscribe for more thrilling content, and comment which ship disaster shocked you most. See you next time.